10 years. That's how long Alexander Ward had lived without her, without Emma, the love of his life, the mother of his only child. Cancer had stolen her from him like a thief in the night, leaving a mansion filled with wealth, but a heart stripped bare. At 45, Alexander Ward was still as powerful and handsome as the world remembered him, the billionaire tech mogul who built empires. But behind the steely eyes and sharp suits was a man who hadn't let another woman near his heart in a decade. Not because he didn't try, but because his daughter, Juliana, made sure no woman stayed. At 18, Juliana was beautiful, brilliant and bold, too bold. She loved her father fiercely, and in her heart, her mother's memory was sacred. No one would take her place. Ever. She saw to it. From sabotaged dates to snide comments and outright manipulation, Juliana made sure any woman who got close ran far, until her father stopped trying altogether. Until Laurel. It happened on a quiet Thursday. Alexander had a flat tire just outside a small bookstore he never noticed before. The Ink Nest. As his driver fixed the tire, he walked in out of boredom. And there she was. Laurel Sinclair, owner of the shop. 32. Graceful, with auburn curls and eyes that saw through you. She didn't recognize him, or pretended not to. Either way, it intrigued him. She smiled without flirting, spoke without awe, listened without judgment. He returned the next day. Then again. Books became coffee. Coffee turned into conversation. Conversation became the warmest silence he'd known in years. By week 3, he smiled differently. And Juliana noticed. She followed him and watched. A woman with her father, laughing, talking, touching his hand. Juliana's blood boiled. Who was this woman? And why was her father looking at her like that? She would find out, and she would end it, because no matter how kind or pretty she was, her mother's place wasn't up for grabs. But Laurel wasn't like the others. She had a past too. A quiet storm behind her calm smile. And she had no intention of running. Not this time. Not from love. Not from Juliana. Not even from herself. Because Laurel knew something Juliana didn't. Sometimes, the only way to heal a broken home is to be the one brave enough to walk through its front door. Episode 2. The Daughter's Game. Juliana Ward didn't like to lose. She never had to. With her last name, her beauty, and her sharp tongue, she always got her way, especially when it came to protecting the memory of her mother. She watched Laurel from her car, parked across the street from the Ink Nest. For 3 days, she tracked every moment. When Laurel opened the shop, how she smiled at customers, how her dad walked in every afternoon like he belonged there. It made her sick. At dinner that evening, Juliana poked at her food. "You've been in a better mood lately," she said casually. Alexander raised a brow. "Is that a crime?" "Depends," she replied, her voice sugar-coated. "Is it because of that woman from the bookstore?" He froze. Just for a second. Juliana caught it. "You're spying on me now?" he asked coolly. "I'm looking out for you," she said, tilting her head. "You forget how many gold diggers threw themselves at you over the years." "I haven't. Laurel isn't like that." Juliana smiled. Victory. So that was her name. "Of course she's not," Juliana said sweetly. "They never are. At first." She excused herself from the table, but not before slipping a small card into her coat pocket, a private investigator's number. The next day, Juliana walked into the Ink Nest. Laurel looked up from the counter. Her eyes, warm and surprised. "Hi. Can I help?" "I'm Juliana, Alexander's daughter." The pause was sharp. Laurel smiled gently. "It's nice to finally meet you." Juliana's voice was soft but cold. "Is it? I wonder what your real intentions are." Laurel blinked, but didn't flinch. "I don't have to prove anything to you, Juliana. Everyone who walks into our world wants something," Juliana whispered. "What do you want?" Laurel stared at her. Quiet. Calm. Then she said, "I want your father to smile again. And I want you to stop being afraid that his happiness means forgetting your mother." That landed like thunder. Juliana's face cracked, just for a second. Then her guard slammed back up. "This isn't over," she snapped. "I didn't think it was," Laurel said softly. As Juliana stormed out, Laurel's hands trembled. But her heart stood tall. She knew Juliana wasn't evil, just scared. And people who grieve the loudest often hide the deepest pain. But love, real love, had its own armor.